Hey guys, it's Axe here, and I'm going to make another War of Nations video here for you. I'm going to show you pretty much everything that you need to know about commanders, from leveling them up and merging them, adding stars, to which commanders are better in what situation. Some commanders are attacking commanders. Some commanders are better for defending. So let's take a look here. I'm going to go into my commander list, and I was kind of in the process of merging some Hannibals, and I'll kind of show you what I was doing here. And so these commanders here, they start at a 20 out of 20. So some of the commanders, some of the 120, the Yama here is a 110 commander. They'll start at a 20 out of 20. Some of the newer ones are starting at 20 out of 70. And the thing with merging commanders is you're going to want to merge two of the exact same leveled commanders that are fully leveled to make a pure commander. There's a couple of ways of merging. That's really the best way, and in my opinion, the only way of merging a commander is to do it pure. And what you would do is, so with these commanders, for example, you can see Yama here, and Hannibal was the same. They start at 20 out of 20. So you can, as soon as you get two of them, you merge them together. And that'll make a 20 out of 50. You don't want to take this 20 out of 50, hit the merge button. Find another one. Hit that button. You don't want to merge these together. This is going to make a dirty commander. This is going to make a commander that's going to have much less stars and much less power. As you can see, the 20 out of 50 has 4,000 stars and 0 out of 4,000. I haven't added any yet. And you put those two together, you're going to have 0 out of 57, 40. A 75 Hannibal is supposed to have 7,000. It varies per commander. Some have more, some have less. And this is an example of what you don't want to do. Also, you don't want to go and select. Yeah, I got an 80 out of 100 and a 20 out of 50. This would be a terrible merge. You're going to get a 110 Hannibal, and it's going to take you a lot less than it would to make them pure, to merge them, perfectly. But it's going to be it's going to have much less power. It's going to have much less damage, much less health, and much less leadership. I do not recommend doing this and hitting that bottom button. Just don't do it. I'm going to clear that. I'm going to close that. The only time that maybe making a dirty commander could be beneficial is if you started a new world and you don't have that many commanders, and maybe you've got the units to capture a super base, and you want to get those before other players get those, and you might end up if you dirty merged a couple of your first commanders just so you can get those super bases before other people do, there might be a benefit to that. But other than that, in an established world, where there are no empty super bases, available for the taking, I don't recommend it at any point. Commanders are relatively easy to get. Maybe not the best one, but they're not too difficult. Just be patient. Wait until you got the right amount and merge them properly. So when you merge the two together, now I've got a 20 out of 50. I need to level this up. Now there's a couple of ways of doing that. First of all, you can hit this little button at the top here, and then you can hit one of these buttons, and you can hit that until your commander is leveled up. I've got a little bit of a stock here myself. If you don't have any in stock, it's going to say, it's going to cost you gold to hit that button. But you can do this. You can hit, hit veteran training. It'll go up to a 35. I'll hit veteran training again. Go up to a 43. I'll hit it again. 48. One more time. And I got a 50. So now I'll slide over here, and you can see that I've got a 50 out of 50. Oh, I gotta slide past all of that stuff there. I've got a 50 out of 50. Now, you can see my 50 out of 50 says 5,900 damage. My 20 out of 50 says 5,900 damage. It did go up, but there's just a glitch in the game right now. You have to actually exit out of the game to see the difference. And I would actually recommend exiting out of the game. If you don't see it make a difference when you level it up, exit out before you merge it. I've had one mess up with a merge on a good commander that really upset me. As well, I've heard of other people having some issues with it, and I almost wonder if maybe this, you merge them together and it's not changing it, and maybe something happens. I'm not sure. But I've started exiting out before I even merge them. Because once you do that, then it will show the difference in your stats. So you could hit that button and level it up that way. Now, if you don't have gold or you don't have any in stock, you want to level them up. There's a couple other ways to do it. One is, well, just with general attacking. The commander will gain experience with units that you kill attacking other people. But that can take a while. And if you don't have a very high commander, you're not going to get much experience attacking other people, because if you're trying to attack with a 20 or 30 commander, you're probably not going to kill much. And in turn, you're not going to get much experience, because the experience you get is based off of the amount of units that you kill in a base. So that's what these orange bases are for. These are NPC bases. They're non-player control. They're just computer bases, and they have units in it that you can attack, and you will get experience and will be able to level up your commander that way. You can do it with, if there's empty super bases, you can attack those. This one's an NPC 38. There's also an NPC 34, which is a super base. That one's got about half the units as the 38 here. And then there's like 27s and 24s. I wouldn't recommend hitting any under that because it's just going to be probably wasting your time. You're not going to get too much experience. With NPC bases, with any NPC bases, or any other bases, as a matter of fact, that you attack, and they have a defense grid on them, you only want to use long-range units. On an NPC base, you want to throw a Jeep in there as well. With a player base, the Jeep might not be the best idea, depending on what's in the base, but that's something for another video maybe. We're going to focus on the NPC bases, and you would always want to include a Jeep in that attack. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to attack this from my base, and I will go create a new army, and I'm going to add one Jeep. And there's a bit of a combo, to lose as little units as possible. And it's one Jeep, 8 helicopters, some Hellstorms, and artillery, and if you have railguns as well. And the amount that you put in there, well, I would say maybe a couple hundred Railstorms, at least a couple hundred artilleries, and you wouldn't even need any railgun for the attack. If you've got more, you can add more in there. The lower your commander is, maybe the more you would want to have. With that combo, you should lose no more than 1 Jeep and 8 helicopters. So it's a relatively cost-effective way to level up your commander. You should get about 30,000 experience attacking at 27, and a little bit less attacking at 24. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw in some Hailstorms, and let's see here, I'll just put 20 in because I'm going to hit it with a pretty good commander, and I'm going to hit 500 artillery, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put my commander in that I want to attack and level up, which I will use one of my 80 Hannibals here, and I'm going to send her away. Okay, so that attacks away. Now you can also hit a super base. These will level up your commanders a lot faster. They have a lot more units in there, and the units rebuild a lot quicker, and you'll lose a little bit more units attacking these, and you probably wouldn't want to hit, like at NPC 27, you can hit with 20 commander, and you still shouldn't lose any more than 1 Jeep and 8 helicopters. On a NPC 38, you probably wouldn't want to hit it with a 20 commander. Unless you just recently cleared it out and it hasn't had a chance to really rebuild that much, you might be able to get away with throwing a 20 at it then, and you know, get a mill or two UV killed and not lose too much. But these can have up to about 38 million or just over 38 million UV in it. So it's a pretty good way to attack. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to select template 1 because when you hit create a new army, it saves it to template 1 automatically. And I don't have a heck of a lot in my stock right now because it is global domination. I've kind of trimmed my numbers down a little bit. So you'd want to use a little bit more. Again, use a Jeep. Always put a Jeep in there. And what I would normally send is about 400 helicopters, a couple hundred hailstorms, 500 artillery, and throw in 500 railguns. If you've got railguns, you know, the more railguns, the better. And, you know, if you don't have too many, you know, don't sweat it. You might lose a little bit more helicopters. But the most important thing is to stock up your helicopters. Have more than enough helicopters in there. If you've got enough in there, you should not lose any more than just helicopters. So that's why I'll normally put 400 in there, but tailor this to your army, tailor this to your commanders, and you know, see what you're losing. If you put 400 helicopters in there and you start losing hailstorms and artillery, it's, you know, still, then maybe put some more helicopters in there, because there's a specific order that you lose these units in. And what I was talking about, long range railguns, artillery, hailstorms, helicopters would all be long-range units, and you lose them in order. You lose your helicopters first, and then you lose your hailstorms, and then you lose your artillery, and then if you've gone through all of your artillery, you're going to start to lose railguns. You don't want to do that. They take a long time to build. They take uranium and titanium, so if you don't have a lot of that in stock, you probably don't want to be going through and killing those, leveling up your commanders. If you can just use helicopters, they're the cheapest to build. They're the quickest to build out of all the long range. That would be the best, the most cost-effective way maybe of doing that. So I'm going to send this attack. I'm going to send another 80 Hannibal and just see what I end up getting. Okay, so I've sent that. Now I've got a report here from the 28th. So it looks like it was full, just about full. Somebody had hit it just a little while ago. So with the 80 Hannibal, I killed 1.1 million UV. I got just under 30,000 experience. You don't get any battle points because it's not a player's base. So it's just the experience you're looking for when you hit an NPC like this. And I lost 7 helicopters. So that's kind of how that played out there. That's not bad. You know, only 2,000 or just over 2,000 unit value I lost. You can hit this all day long. You're not going to lose much units. You're probably going to run out of energy on your commanders before you run out of units. Doing it this way, and you know, generally there's a lot of these NPC 27s and 24s around that you can hit them all day long, and you know, it'll level up your commanders. It might take a bit of time, you know, 30,000 experience pop, but it will get them leveled up. There's another way that you can do it. Again, you don't hear the NPC 38, so let's see how this played out. Now, I looted a core and some energy. There's about 3 million UV in there, so somebody also hit this pretty recently. There can be a lot more units in there, and I lost 7,200 UV. I got 76,000 experience. So as you can see, I got more than twice as much. The experience, I did lose more. And if there's a lot more UV in there, you can get, I think it's up to 500,000 experience if it's a full base. And you'll lose a lot more. That's where you'd want to put a lot of helicopters in there. And kind of tailor your attack to that. Try to lose as little as possible. But you want, you know, just these 4 units and 1 Jeep. And kind of play with those numbers as, you know, if you find you're still, you know, you're losing, you know, all your helicopters, all your hailstorms, and you're digging into your artillery, maybe, you know, take off a little bit of artillery and railguns and put in more helicopters. and it might just keep you from losing the bigger units. So that's a couple of ways to level it up. That's pretty much all the ways to level up your commander. Through either hitting NPC bases, attacking other players, or hitting the little button to add experience. Now with merging commanders, you've got a star meter. Let me go back to my base here. I'm gonna just take a look at my commanders here. Or I will go to actual base. Look at my commanders here. So all your commanders have stars. They've got a certain amount of stars. And it doesn't matter if you fill the stars before, or you fill the stars after, or you fill the stars in between, or you fill the stars on one commander and not the other one. It doesn't make a difference in the end product. As long as you're merging fully leveled commanders that are the same level, you'll get the strongest commander you can. It's not going to make a difference with when you put the stars in, but there can be a bit of a strategy as to the most cost-effective way to add stars, because eventually you're going to want to have the star meter full. And some of the commanders, they can have up 32, 35,000 stars when they're fully merged. And, if you don't want to spend gold on it, and, maybe you don't have, because there's only two ways of putting stars on your commanders, which is either hitting this plus button here and hitting one of these buttons. If you don't have any in stock, it's going to cost you gold. Or you can absorb other commanders and add stars that way. I'm not going to absorb that one, but just to show you an example. If you don't have many commanders to absorb, and you don't have, you don't want to spend gold, there's a little bit of a strategy to try to get the most bang out of your buck with stars. Commanders don't level their stars all the same. Some of them, when you level them together, their stars drop. And when I say drop, I don't mean it'll go under 4,000. But what I mean is, take this Hannibal. I already leveled one up 250, I believe. I did, yes. I got 150 there. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to level another 50 up here. Hit this button here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now I've got 250 out of 50 Hannibals. This would be a good merge. So I can hit the merge button, go here, I can select my other 50 out of 50. So you can see she's got 4,000 stars as a maximum on one and the other, and when you combine them together, now she only has 7,000. So if you had starred both of these up, it would have cost you 8,000 stars, and your end result's only going to have 7,000. You're actually going to lose 1,000 stars in the process, and if you don't have unlimited amounts, or you don't want to spend money on the game, you probably wouldn't want to star these up first. You would want to star them up afterwards. And you can if you've got one commander that's got stars, let me add stars here. 1, 2. I'll add a couple thousand there, and I'll quickly show you absorbing. So I've got her. She's got 2,000 out of 4,000 stars. So I'm going to go all the way to the back here, because I don't want to absorb any of my good commanders. I've got a Sphinx here. This guy is pretty much useless in today's game, and so I'll just absorb him. He's worth 1,500 stars. That's a good one. And I'm not leveling Yama anymore. No, you know what? Apollo. That makes it even 4,000. As you can see there, it shows you how much damage, health, and leadership it adds, and an extra % on the traits there when you do that. So I'm gonna hit the absorb button, and now she's got 4,000 out of 4,000 stars. So I'll go back here, and you can see the one that I just leveled up has not actually shown the increased damage. One's got 15,000, one's got 5,900. I'm just going to quickly exit the game here and go back into it just so that it's going to show the difference. Because I don't want any glitches to make a mistake on my merge. So I've been kind of doing this every time now. No, I'm not going to go there. That's too big of a list. I'll go here. I'll go commanders at the base. And I'll slide over to my 250 out of 50s. Now, one's got more than the other, but that's just because I added stars to one of them. So that's the difference there. Now I can hit the merge button, and I can select the other 50 out of 50. And as you can see, all 4,000 of the stars that I had added to the one commander is now applied to the merged commander. I'm not losing anything. And if you only have one commander that's starred up, you'll never lose any stars. If I had both of them, again, I would have lost 1,000. So here, this is a good merge here. I'm going to hit the merge button. I don't want to add all the stars to start with, because I'm just going to lose 1,000. So I've done that. Now I've got my 50 out of 75. I've got 75, and they both have 4 stars. So now when I merge these together, I'm going to end up losing stars, I believe. Now, of course, this is not a perfect merge, so the overall stars are going to be funny. But in this particular example, if I merge these two together, which I'm not going to do, I would actually lose quite a bit of stars. I would end up with only 5190 out of 10,000. So I would lose almost 3,000 stars. And, you know, if you're not spending money on the game, you don't have many commanders, that's a lot. That's stars that you could have put towards another commander. So it's just a waste. So in this particular example, it's a good idea to maybe, you know, this particular commander, start it up afterwards. If you can. Now, there's some commanders, though, that increase their stars when you merge them together. And maxing out their star meters before you merge them is beneficial. And the reason for that is when you merge two commanders together and you've maxed their stars, no matter what the end result is, you're going to get the max stars. So there are some commanders out that increase their stars. Let me show you what I mean by that. Where would be, I think Remy is an example of that. Let me show you here. So she's got 6,000 stars total right now. She started off as a 20 out of 70 with 2,000 stars. So by maxing out the stars before I merged her, it cost me 2,000 for one of them, and it cost me 2,000 stars for the other one, so total 4,000 stars. And my end result was 6,000 out of 6,000. I actually got 2,000 more stars because I merged it first. And I believe you know, this particular commander does that a couple of times, where I think the next time I merged two 6,000s together, and I think it's a total of 15,000 stars. And then she might end up dropping. But my point is, with no matter what commander it is, if you want to take a look at what the total stars will be afterwards before you merge and before you add stars, it might not be a bad idea. There's an example of another bad merge. You wouldn't want to do this. But, you know, you put the two on there and see what the total result is. And, you know, if you're a little tight for stars, you know, there might be a little bit of a strategy, you know, adding them before or after you merge them. But like I said before, it won't affect the overall. It's just going to maybe cost you more or less stars to get the same amount. So that's how you deal with stars on a commander. Now, there's a couple different kinds of commanders, and this is going to be the last thing I kind of touch on because I don't want the video to go too long. You've got, basically you've got your attacking commanders and you've got your defensive commanders. And you've got some commanders that are kind of in between. So let me show you what I mean. This Jenner that I have at the top of the list here, 110 Jenner. Take a look at the three stats here. You've got you know, 22,000 damage, almost 34,000 health, and 7,300 leadership. Leadership, if you watched my video before, if you understand what leadership is, like basically that's the amount of units that the commander can have in a base or in an attack, and give its full boost to, and give its full stats to. If you have more units than that, either sitting in a base with that commander, or attacking, if it's, you're never going to attack with more than 7,000 units, or at least not right now. But let's say, for example, you've got 202 leadership with this 20 out of 50 Hannibal. If you sent, 1,500 units on an attack with that, she's going to be terrible. She's going to lose so much percentage. And, maybe I can actually show an example of that. No, I don't have any units in this base. No, okay, I can't, but the percentage goes way down. And I am going to touch on that a little bit, like the whole percentage and how to select a commander maybe for an attack. But, so you've got your two different kinds of commanders, and then you've got them in between. So, Jenner here, generally a commander with a higher health. And if you look underneath the percentages here, you see it's mechanical health, vehicle health, and aircraft health. Health is a defending commander. You would want to put this commander in a base with up to 7,300 units, or even a little bit more. Wouldn't be a big deal. You put 20,000 units in there, you're asking for trouble or more, and I see that a lot, and it's kind of fun to hit those bases. Don't be one of those people. But anyway, you could put, probably even 10,000 units in this base, and this commander is going to protect them quite well. And, if you look at the traits, you see the green one here is a little higher than the other ones. That's because I added an implant. I'm just going to quickly touch on an implant here. You add it on. You win them in events, or you can buy them with gold, and you hit the implant button here, and you add your implant on there, whatever percentage boost. So he's going to have a significant higher health percentage for aircraft vehicles. And so if you got a base with him in it, probably not a bad idea to put a little bit more or Centrons, or another aircraft vehicle, because he's going to defend those a lot better than even vehicle and mechanical health. They're going to get bigger boosts. But this would be a defensive commander. This would be someone that you don't necessarily want to attack with. You can attack with him, but he's not going to be as efficient attacking as, say, the Ultraviolet here. As you can see, she's got almost 24,000 damage, just under 10,000 health, and only 1,000 leadership. Now, the leadership is low, just because she's not fully leveled. You'll get that with any commander that's not fully leveled. They'll have significant leadership when they're leveled. But just looking at the damage and the health, that'll go up proportionately, and she's always going to have significantly more damage than health. And then you scroll down, and you see the percentages are all vehicle health, vehicle damage, aircraft damage, and mechanical damage. This is someone that you would want to attack with. Wouldn't make a great defender. Health is more of an important aspect of defending your units. You want a lot of health to defend them. She would do a much better job attacking somebody. And this is where, if you're adding an implant, let me show you. This is what it'll look like if you don't have one on there. You hit the little button, and now you get to select whatever implant you want to put on there. Keep in mind that if I guess I can touch on implants a little bit here. I don't want the video to go too long, but you can pick any of these, put them on there, and it's going to apply an additional, 60% vehicle damage, or 20% aircraft damage, or 10% mechanical damage, whichever one you pick on there. And then let's say I equip the 10% mechanical damage here. Now suddenly, if I want to remove it, now I go, oh, you know what? I actually wanted that 60% vehicle damage on there. You hit remove, it's going to cost you money, or you can destroy it for free. But if you want to keep it, it's going to cost you cash to keep it. So the commander is going to have that implant until you remove it or merge it. Once you merge a commander, the implant gets removed free of charge, and you can put another one on. So you can kind of use that to your advantage as well. If you do have a new one that you want to put on there, you could probably wait until you've merged the commander. It gets removed automatically, and then you can apply maybe the better one that you have. But anyway, so that's a little bit about implants. But the percentage here adds, more boost to your hits, and in this particular situation, Ultraviolet would be a better attacker. Remy here, you take a look, 12,000 damage, 21,000 health, all health percentage boosts. This would be somebody, again, that you probably would be better off leaving in a base with units to protect them over attacking another player with. And then you scroll over, you see the Boo commander here. He ends up having very low leadership, about 4,000 after he's fully leveled. That aspect alone doesn't make him a great defender, but he's got a lot of damage and health. And they're about even, and he's got aircraft, he's got a damage trait percentage boost, and he's got health boosts. So he could kind of go either way. I personally, like him better as a attacker, just because there are better defenders to leave in a base. But he's kind of can do a little bit of both. He would be a better defender than Ultraviolet, and a better attacker than Jenner. But these two would be the top of the particular areas. So that's kind of the basics on what different commanders' maybe specialties are. And let me kind of show you here. I'm going to go and quickly attack this little NPC2 base here. And from this base here, which is really far away, but that's okay because I'm not actually going to send it. And I'll click on template 2, and I'll kind of show you. You'll see the percentage at the bottom of the commander's area there, just over travel time. That's going to be the important number when you're selecting units to attack with. So as you can see, my Hannibal has a 100% mechanical damage implant on there. So because in this particular attack, I've got a lot of if I added more Titans, watch what happens. Now she got over 10,000% damage. I take those Titans off, and maybe I add rocket trucks. Now this would be a vehicle. Well, now she's only got 8,500. So she, because of that implant, will do more damage with mechanical units. So if you're using this particular commander and you've got a mechanical boost on there, you can kind of play around with this number and try to get the highest unit damage as possible before you send that attack out. So you would not want to use very many rocket trucks. I would want to use more Titans and Hellfires and Hammerheads. Less Centrons, more Hammerheads. They're kind of the same thing. Centrons are a little stronger, but it's an aircraft. So the Hammerhead is mechanical, and with this particular commander would probably be stronger than using Centrons in this attack. The only time that this percentage won't help you is with a commander that has either health versus or damage versus. It doesn't show up there because that particular rate, that percentage will only be applied after when you hit, because it's going to be damage versus vehicles will basically add. If you're looking at the destroyer, my 111 destroyer here, it'll add 36% damage versus vehicles. So you'd probably want to use this particular one because I got an implant for damage versus aircraft. If you find a base with a lot of Hawks or Centrons, you'd probably want to use this commander with the aircraft implant because he's going to have a higher percentage of attack. All your units will hit aircraft much harder than it would everything else. It's not going to show up in the percentage on the bottom, so you got to keep that in mind as well. If you've got a commander like this, you're not going to see the like it says here 3,400% damage. Well, it's going to be significantly more than that because all of this percentage is going to be applied at the attack. And unfortunately, when you look at the report as well, it's not going to show that either. So when you take a look at a report, you can see the percentage damage and health that was applied to all your units with a commander that has either damage or health versus. It's not going to show up here either, unfortunately. The only way the difference is by the amount of units you end up killing or losing. So you just got to keep that one in mind because it doesn't really show up on that particular list. And So those are a couple of things you want to keep in mind when you're attacking or defending a base. I'll kind of show you, it can make quite a significant difference. So let's say I've got two, I'm going to attack from this base here, and this base has my Hannibal that has 138 mechanical damage. As I was showing you, it has over 10,000 damage. When I use a lot of mechanical, I throw that in there. You can get, a higher percentage with it. Now, if I went and I wanted to send a long-range attack out, which would just be helicopters, hailstorms, artillery, and railguns, and then possibly a jeep or a tank, or depending on what's in the base. That's something to maybe touch on a different video. But look at her percentage now. It's gone down. It's only 6,800%. Now, I mean, that's still a good amount. You're probably gonna do some damage with that. But that's over 3,000% less damage just because of the units that you're using. Whereas if I wanted to use a long-range attack, and I go to another base here that I've got the same commander that has trait for vehicle damage. I'm doing 83 or 8,700% damage. Using a lot of railguns and artillery. So, and that's where this commander maybe wouldn't be so good when you're sending a mechanical attack. So those are some things to keep in mind when you are attacking or defending a base. And again, same as in my global domination video, the leadership when you're defending a base is very important. If you have 10,000 units in a base and you've got campaigns, I want to look at a commander here, and let's see, you've got a Boo, which has 4,600 leadership. Very, very low leadership. Lots of damage, lots of health. The traits aren't bad, like the percentage boost isn't bad. He's got health, but it's only 4,600 leadership. So if you had like 10,000 units in there, for example, you would get about half the damage and health. And suddenly he's not such a good attacker, he's not such a good defender because of the amount of units that you got in there. The percentages get cut in half. So you want to keep that in mind when you're storing units in a base, and the amount of units that you have in there. So I think I'm going to end this here.